I brought a microwave to class when my teacher banned us from eating. What happened next? Changed the entire school's policy. It all started when Mr. Peterson, our EP Canish teacher, implemented a strict, no food, no exceptions rule after someone spilled soda on a $2,000 lab equipment. I understood his frustration, but the problem was our class ran from 11:45 to 1:30 right through lunch period. We weren't allowed to leave for lunch and we couldn't eat in class. For most of us with back-to-back schedules, this meant going from 7:30 a.m. until after 3 p.m. without eating. When I mentioned this to Mr. Peterson, he just shrugged and said, "Welcome to the real world. Sometimes adults have to skip meals." As a student athlete with hypoxemia, I literally couldn't skip meals without getting dizzy or worse. When I brought in a doctor's note, Mr. Peterson glanced at it and said, "Medical exemptions create a slippery slope. Rules are rules." So I decided to follow his rules exactly while finding the loophole the rulebook stated. Students may not consume food in classrooms, but it said nothing about preparing food. It also specified that small appliances for educational purposes were permitted with teacher approval. The next Monday, I arrived to class rolling a small carry-on suitcase. Mr. Peterson raised an eyebrow but said nothing as I carefully removed a compact microwave and placed it on the empty desk next to mine. "What are you doing, Miss Chen?" he finally asked as I plugged it in. "Setting up for our chemistry demonstration, sir," I replied with innocent eyes. "I'm preparing a presentation on exophonic reactions in everyday appliances." He looked suspicious but nodded. For the next 45 minutes, I took meticulous notes while the aroma of my microwave mac and cheese slowly filled the room. Cons started glancing back at me, some smirking, others looking longingly at the microwave. When the timer beeped, I carefully removed my lunch, set it on my desk, and continued taking notes without eating a single bite. "Are you going to eat that?" Mr. Peterson finally demanded, breaking the tension. "Oh no, sir, that would violate the no food consumption rule. I am just preparing it as part of my demonstration on thermal energy transfer. I'll consume it once I leave the classroom." The class held their breath. Mr. Peterson's face cycled through at least 5 emotions before he burst out laughing. "You found the loophole. I am impressed," he admitted, "but you can't just run a microwave in class." "Actually, sir," interjected Ellie, our class president, "according to the handbook, she can if it's for educational purposes, and I am learning a lot about standing up for student rights." What happened next surprised everyone. Instead of getting angry, Mr. Peterson sat on the edge of his desk and asked, "So what would be a reasonable solution here?" That conversation led to a student-teacher committee that revised the school's food policy. We created designated eating areas in classrooms, implemented clinic protocols, and established reasonable accommodations for class times that conflicted with lunch periods. 3 months later, my microwave sits in the back of our chemistry class Perdo, now a sanctioned nutrition station where students can heat quick meals if they missed lunch. We even added a mini fridge donated by the PDA. Mr. Peterson eventually admitted to me, "In 20 years of teaching, I've never had a student challenge a policy so effectively without breaking a single rule. You are going to make one hell of a lawyer someday." I didn't tell him I am actually planning to become a teacher, because sometimes the most important lesson isn't in the textbook print, it's learning how to change the rules that don't make sense one microwave meal at a time.